Welcome back. We're gonna work on that intro, like weird, awkward cutoff of the music, but
yeah, it's like and then you just see us.
Like, hello, how are you? So streaming on Twitch as well, YouTube and Twitch tonight. So I'm sure we have at least 2 times the number of viewers tonight, because as you all remember, anything multiplied by 0 is still 0.
Wow. Now we can have 0 streams on Twitch and YouTube.
Ah, dude, I just
fantastic.
I'm using the wrong microphone.
Which one are you using?
There, now I just sound all podcasty.
You got to get real up in there, real intimate with it.
Real podcasty. Anyways, so no guests tonight. I tweeted so many times. I want to talk to someone about NFTs. I really do. NFTs are blowing up right now.
Well, they're in the news. They're in the
everywhere.
News.
Everyone's talking about them. Everything's being used for them. It's like, it's crazy. I've gone down some real deep rabbit holes this week on NFTs.
So what are non-fungible tokens? What are these? Why is this in the news now?
Yeah, if there's anyone listening, NFTs stand for non-fungible tokens. So the basic concept is, so we'll talk about Ethereum because that's where the NFTs are. So there's multiple kinds of tokens you can have on Ethereum, right? The standard one that like you think of like the Ethereum currency or any of the other currencies built on Ethereum, because there's a lot, are using what are called Erc20 tokens. Now, Erc20 tokens are what are considered fungible tokens, which means if you look at the makeup of that token, like the code of it or whatever, the signature of it, they're all identical. They're all interchangeable. So it's kind of like a single dollar bill. They're all the same. You can exchange them one for one and they're the same. Now, non-fungible token is unique. So each instance of it is unique in some way. So this is being used for things like crypto art and things like that. So it's like this glass is not exchangeable for a coffee mug because they're different. That's what a non-fungible token is basically. Now, I mean, we talked crypto art not too long ago on the podcast, and I've spent even the few weeks before. Hey, look at that. Are you drinking something real tonight? Hey,
yeah, I've got a tiny glass tonight.
Nice. Good job.
Good job.
Good job. I'm still reeling a little bit from last night. Kimmy and I had some drinks and then ordered pizza. I had too many drinks.
That's a good ass night.
Yeah, it was a pretty good night, but I was not feeling the best this morning. Anyways, we talked about crypto art not too long ago, right? And I've spent a lot of time thinking about it because lots of people think these NFTs are the digital asset, and that's not correct. They're not, because these NFTs are small. You can only store so much data in them. So like most photos, even you couldn't store in the data section of an NFT. So what an NFT is just a token that points at this thing and says, I am like the verification of authenticity of that thing. So the way I kind of rationalize them in my head, and if anyone knows anything better about this, and I'm sure no one's listening to this now, but in the comments on YouTube, or I don't know how Twitch works, but maybe Twitch or something, I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong about this, but the way I think about it is a certificate of authenticity. So when you buy an NFT, you're getting that piece of art or music or whatever. Like we'll get into how these things could be used. And this is verifying that you own the authentic thing, right? So when you buy your car, you get the car, but you also get a title. Mm-hmm. Title is saying you own that car.
Is this would this be a replacement for that title?
You know, I think it's possible. I don't know like the actual limitations. I mean, when I say I've gone deep, I was writing my own non-fungible tokens in code this morning. So like, whoa.
I'm not
but
surprised.
It's possible, right? Like all they are digital contracts. So like you could very easily see in like a year or two, you could buy a car or buy a house. And your title is an NFT, not a piece of paper.
Yeah, now what would be the advantage of using these over how like we currently sell a car or even buy a house?
I think the car example is a really simple one, right? Right now it's like this weird manual process where you have like a title and then you have to sign the back of it and all this other stuff. And, you have liens out on the title if you have a loan, and all of that can happen digitally. You could have a title that you buy, and if you have a loan against it, you could even bake into the contract that loan, and it automatically like pays the lien holder. And when you sell it, you sell that token. And I don't know. Like, I think there's a lot of details to work out there, but conceptually it would work. And I think the car example is a really pretty straightforward one because there's not too much complexity there. In the house example, it gets more complicated, but the same basic structure, right? But you could see things like getting rid of escrow companies. You don't need escrow. So when I bid, I haven't actually bought any crypto art, but I did bid on some crypto art in the past, and I thought it was fascinating. So I found this crypto art that was interesting. I ended up losing the bid, which is why I don't have any. I'm just still a little bitter about that.
I can't tell.
It was a really dope photo, like really dope. But what I did is I bid on it. And what happened when I bid on it was, let's say, for example's sake, I bid 1 Ethereum. I did not bid 1 Ethereum because I'm not ready to invest that much in a single photo from an unknown artist. But let's say, for argument's sake, I bid 1 Ethereum. What happened was 1 Ethereum went out of my account, but it did not go into the artist's account. It went on to the blockchain. And the contract was waiting basically for the creator to accept the bid. Now, what happens is someone outbid me. When someone outbid me, took their Ethereum, put it on the blockchain, and saw, oh, there's someone else that outbid you, gave me mine back. So, like, they're doing escrow. Like, if you think about what escrow is, that's it.
So this would work well, or could work in replacing, or like a marketplace type thing with even eBay, right? I saw that in our Discord this week. You and Seth were talking about opportunities in these online marketplaces.
Yeah, we were. The online marketplace space is very, very predatory right now. I feel like, Seth was talking about the eBay fees on his recent sale, and like they were massively huge.
After eBay broke up with PayPal, so to speak, and then implemented their own payment system, I even saw it too. I basically pulled all my auctions of things I had left on there and put it just purely into like Facebook, like local marketplaces, free local marketplaces. But
yeah, I think there's a lot of question marks on how these distributed apps and distributed communities would work, right? So like, how do you prevent fraud, and how do you ensure everyone's being on the up and up, right? But there's also quite a few like proof points for how to handle this. So like how new coins are generated on Bitcoin or Ethereum is a great example. So there's 2 general structures for doing this. And Ethereum, I'll talk about Ethereum because one, I know the most about it, but 2, it also has both of these examples. So currently Ethereum is what's called a proof of work model. So basically what that means is you work / your computer works on crunching numbers effectively, and you show that work and you get Ethereum. That's the basic premise behind mining, right? You're literally just using computing power to generate blocks on the blockchain of mathematical hashes, and you're showing that work and you get rewarded for it. That's how mining currently works. Now, Ethereum 2, which is a massive update to the protocol that's coming out, I don't know exactly when, but in the soonish timeframe, that is moving to what's called a proof of stake model, which some of the other cryptocurrencies already have this. I don't know them off the top of my head, which is an interesting model. And this is where I think this is the model that I think could make sense for some of these distributed communities like the marketplace, which is a proof of stake model. So the proof of stake model, the way that's going to work in Ethereum is if you want to earn Ethereum, you are going to take your own Ethereum and stake it, basically put it up in escrow effectively again. And while you're staking, then you can vote on proposed blocks. So there will be new blocks generated and you can vote on whether to accept them or not effectively.
Yep.
And then consensus across all of the stakers. I don't know if that's actually what they're called, but it sounds like a thing. Consensus across them puts the block into place, and there you go. And because there's a community of them and majority rules, and there's the penalty of like fraud or something like that, of losing your stake, which is pretty big. It's like to become someone staking, it's like 23 Ethereum, which is not cheap. Something like
especially
that.
with what it's at right now, right?
Yeah, so I think like that sort of model could be interesting. A project that I think would be really fascinating to work on is a distributed Wikipedia, right? Like, if any site were to be like truly community owned and distributed, Wikipedia would make so much sense. And then you could imagine people participating as moderators by like staking crypto. So they put up like 5 ETH in there and they become a moderator.
I see. Because how does
the
it
moderators
work now?
all have to vote for every change.
How does it work now with Wikipedia?
Someone
never actually suggested a change.
I've never suggested a change either. I don't exactly know how that works, but I'm assuming it's somewhat similar. Like maybe they have some like computer logic behind it to like guess when changes are potentially bad or not. But
so would this make it faster and more accurate in some capacity?
Probably not. Like some of these it's just like conceptually it's interesting and more cool, and like having Wikipedia actually owned by the community sounds like a great thing. But a lot of these things on these blockchains and distributed ledgers and things like that are actually slower. Some of them can be slower, right? Getting some of these transactions through on the blockchain can be not that fast. Granted, I'm super new into the distributed app space. It's something I'm just now starting to explore.
This sounds like some Silicon Valley Pied Piper shit.
It's really interesting. I even discovered this one company today. What are they called? I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But they basically let you buy a .crypto domain. So I bought Trobrock.crypto. And then you can link that to your wallet. So instead of, those big, ugly wallet addresses, like people could send me crypto to just Trobrock.crypto.
Oh. That's interesting.
I do talk a lot of drivel. I do. That's what we're here for.
Yeah. The name of this is the Financial Illiterates. It may be a little drivel.
Mix it with whiskey and you don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah. That does sound interesting. Yeah, it sounds like I'm glad it's in the news, because it was the first time I ever read about this type of stuff was back when Bitcoin went up to like 18-ish thousand a couple of years ago. And it started looking into, what is the blockchain type stuff. I went to a few meetups even back in the day, just to see what people were.
Bitcoin meetups. Wow, that's interesting. I've not been.
It was blockchain meetups. I think it was 2018.
Yep.
And people were loosely talking about all this, but I'm glad to see it in the news now, because I still very new to it, and it seems like we're still very early in the technology.
It is still very early, yeah. And I think like the NFT space is like people are trying to turn everything into an NFT right now, which I think is going to end in people losing money. Like they're turning everything into an NFT, which is possible. Is the downside of like an open thing.
Yeah.
But I do think they're going to be interesting and useful in certain cases. And that's where I'm trying to drill into now. Is like, what are those things? Like, will crypto art stick around? Because I see, like, in a lot of the crypto art spaces, like, I mean, I saw a dude mint a Microsoft Paint image that he made 20 years ago. It's like,
what does it mean to mint something?
It just turns the digital, it creates a NFT out of a digital asset.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think it's an interesting space to look at and dig into. I'm playing around with a couple of ideas in the space right now, but I don't know. It could be nothing too.
Yeah. But at least you have the background where you could actually build something around this.
Yeah, it's cool. There's a lot of really, I mean, like, it's an open protocol, so there's a lot of like openness to it, right? OpenSea, for example, is a place where you can pretty much mint anything you want and auction them and buy them and sell them all on OpenSea. They have like a whole like developer SDK, and it's a pretty interesting place, but it's a broad marketplace. I think to be really successful is like a marketplace. You need to be a little bit more like the NBA Top Shot. You need to be a little more focused and niche, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a couple of ideas there that I'm playing around with right now.
Yeah. I still don't know enough to
investors. We are investors. I guess
I don't know enough enough to invest in this type of stuff yet, but yes, in other things.
No, in the NFT space, I'm trying to understand, like, I was starting to look into the art space a bit before all this stuff started blowing up, and I just don't still fully understand like how to identify value there. You know, like when it comes to investing in startups or something like that. I just made another angel investment on the AngelList Syndicate yesterday.
Oh, very cool.
So when it comes to that, like, it's pretty obvious to me where value is. The stock market, I think, is a similar place. The currency exchange market, I was just talking to someone about Forex earlier, and I have not dug into that. I don't know if you, I mean, Pills.
Yeah,
if you have a lot of experience there, I'd love to talk to you on here at some point about that, because I'd love to learn more about the foreign exchange. I played a bit in the futures markets for a while, and didn't do very well. So maybe Forex will be better.
The only time I've ever seen things mentioned as far as Forex are those Instagram bots spamming Instagram posts.
Oh yeah, the bots, man, they're so horrible. The bots on YouTube are awful, man. Like, anytime you comment on like one of the big finance YouTubers videos, it's like, hey, WhatsApp me this number and pay me Bitcoin and I will teach you all the secrets. I'm like, really? You're Graham Stephan? Really?
Yeah.
No, get out of here.
I don't think I think that stuff will always be prevalent in any sort of media or social media.
Yeah. So what's the new things you're looking at right now? Anything?
No, pretty much same old.
Same old. Did you like that video I sent you earlier? Like that video I sent you earlier about the car wash?
I did, actually. I did. I'm glad that was recently posted, because I could not find anything equivalent to that other than, like people just writing up what it's like to run a car wash or own a car wash.
Yeah, it was a YouTube recommendation. For context, for anyone watching, it's one of the things we're looking at on the real estate side is potentially a car wash. Though after that video, I think, no thanks, I'm good.
I don't know. It didn't really scare me away. I was just like, okay, yeah, those are the unknowns that I was curious about. I would not want the automated piece. I would not want the automated piece.
The maintenance just seems too high to be worth the cash flow. Right? Like 5% cash flow, you can get that from just like a residential real estate play and not have to worry about that level of maintenance.
The other the reports that I read was a little bit more than that. I know that's that one guy's experience, and he bought one that was like pretty run down. What I was interested in is how he actually paid for it, because I'd never heard of that. It was a different type of mortgage where
did you look into it at all? I didn't get a chance to research that yet today.
I have it on my list of stuff to read next, but yeah, I thought it was an interesting way of buying it, where the owner essentially gets paid out monthly or the previous owner gets paid out monthly.
Yeah.
As like a pension.
Oh, okay. So it's like owner financing effectively.
It looked,
Oh,
it
okay.
sounds like it.
That's kind of the impression I got when I was watching it, and I was just sitting there thinking, like, who takes a 3% loan?
Yeah.
I don't. That owner must have really wanted to get rid of that.
Either that, or they, that's not the only thing they have invested. So.
Oh, yeah. Bills and Beta. I have not played around with the Forex markets, but I am very interested in them. And if you know about them and want to come on sometime, let me know. Hit me up on Twitter at Trobrock, and we'll talk, because I did play around the future market a while and didn't do super great. And I'm interested in that sort of stuff. And Forex is just not something I've taken the time to dig into yet.
Yeah, I know nothing about Forex.
Yeah, I mean, for background, most of my experience is in, I'm a software engineer and started a company. So most of my experience is around startups and businesses there. And so I'm doing some angel investing and still have a large portion of my net worth tied up in my last company. And then we're also doing some real estate investing. Trading is something I play with as like a hobby here and there, but Forex is something I've heard many people say very good things about, and I just haven't had the time to dig into. So
Yeah,
just
I'm
see
gonna hold on to
GameStop.
my ignorance there. Why is it back up?
I don't know. I mean, I saw some big celeb post on Twitter or something that they were getting in, but part of me thinks, like, I forget who it was. Part of me thinks like they had already bought and then they held it way too long. And now they're like, oh, I'm getting into GameStop.
Here
And
we
then it
go.
goes back up. I don't know, man. 100% move in a day and then 80% in after hours. That was a bigger single day move than they had at the beginning of the whole thing. So I don't know. I did see this funny clip on CNBC where they were talking about GameStop going up, and one of the anchors is just like, I don't think I can handle it again.
Oh, did you watch some of the hearing last week though?
I watched the
thought
whole
that
thing.
was-
I had to
I thought
drop
that was
off for
just
like
pure
30 minutes
entertainment.
during another meeting. That was like one of the best things on the internet that day, for sure.
Between the technical glitches, poor Vlad of Robinhood just saying the same shit every time and
Yes or no,
appreciating every
please.
question.
Yes or no? Just
Yeah,
yes or no.
He got roasted a few times. I
When I
envy
was a
his
young
position.
boy in Bulgaria, oh, no, wait, hold on. First, I appreciate the question. When I was a young kid in Bulgaria, yes or no, please. When it starts off that way, I'm like, this is gonna be so good.
One of the guys roasted him because he was like, you should participate in a filibuster because you're really good at just basically wasting time.
Yes.
It was like, yeah, that was pretty good.
That was
really
good. My favorite though was the mic drop with the call to their support line. So like,
I didn't see that.
Oh man, it was the best. So this was probably like at least an hour in at this point. And Vlad has talked multiple times at this point about their support phone line that they've added, right? And I'm watching on the Meet Kevin stream, and Meet Kevin has already mentioned, like, yeah, they have a phone line, but you call them and then they say they'll call you back, right? And Vlad never explicitly says like it's a phone that someone will pick up. So one of the freaking congressmen in his line of questioning, he just goes, so he talks through, is like, so do you have like a line that we can call and get help? And he's like, yeah. He's like, let me just show you what happens when you call. And he calls on his phone right there, holds it up to the speaker, and it's like, thank you for calling Robinhood, blah blah blah, and they're like, we'll call you back. And it hangs up.
Oh no.
And then he doesn't even give him a chance to respond. He says, I yield my time.
Oh yes.
It was just like, he should have just dropped the phone after that. It was so good.
My God.
It was so good.
Yeah, I learned a lot of new phrases. Like, I'd like to reclaim my time, or relinquish my time.
Yeah, I want to use that in meetings.
Perfect for Zoom meetings now.
Yeah.
I reclaim my time.
I'd like to reclaim my time now and just leave. Oh man.
Yeah, it was, unfortunately, it was just more entertainment than anything educational or I
It
guess
was, and like I
yeah,
I
anything of value. But
I get the focus on Robinhood. I do. But there was a lot of really shady stuff happening on the back end of that is not being pushed on very heavily, it doesn't seem.
yeah.
So, oh, did you see at the very beginning when the dude from Melvin Capital basically was
Oh, I'm
talking about how he got all those racial slurs and stuff on Reddit, and
I
he
did
like
not see that, but I loved his backdrop in his little like hole of an office printer room.
so the guy from Melvin Capital, he quotes this this Reddit comment apparently talking about effectively like him being a Jew and stuff. You can go watch the thing if you want to hear the whole quote. And then the CEO of Reddit comes on and he's talking about what they do to manage the community, make sure it's a safe and good place. And he's like, we have a whole team dedicated to this. And when I heard that, I had the whole team go and search for this comment. And the closest thing we could find was not anywhere near that bad. It was immediately downvoted and removed 5 minutes later. Like basically said, "Hi, Melvin. Yeah, no, that was a lie. You're just lying now."
Dude, I think Reddit CEO was very on point for
He
those
was like
lines of
the
question. He was
best
very
person
on
on
point.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
like he didn't seem fake at all. He didn't seem like he had a team behind the camera, like giving him
Right.
lines, like the dude from Citadel did, where he's like talking on the camera like
he
this
was
the whole
reading
time.
up. He was like this, like,
I
what the
don't
fuck
know
you
what
looking
you
at, my
are
guy?
talking about.
Melvin Capital's guy was just short. He didn't really say much.
Yeah.
Vlad got roasted, and then I
the
think
Reddit
Reddit
CEO, like he
was
came
very on.
across as the guy that actually knew what he was talking about.
Yes. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
He either just already knows his shit, or he was very well prepared, or maybe a little bit of both. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was eye opening, and I think coming out of it, there's hopefully more transparency in the inner workings of the market in these exchanges, because before GameStop, I didn't even know what to research to get this type of information of like, what are market makers? Who are they? What power do they actually have? And what does it mean to be a market maker? And I did, after all of this, is like that stuff has kind of come to light, which nobody really knew. So I don't know if you knew that before, but
I knew a little
I didn't
bit.
really
I
understand
learned
the inner workings.
Yeah, I've definitely learned some on this. I'm excited to see some of the next sessions too, because it's a series of sessions. It's not just that one. It's a series of them. I don't know when the next ones are, but I'm excited to see them because it's going to be super entertaining. Have you been watching Millennial Money and not the CNBC one?
I haven't watched any of. I've been kind of heads down on our own stuff. I've been trying to go away from distractions.
I mean, I'm not going to say that they copied us, but
did they really? I
mean, let me first say I enjoy the show a lot, and it's very entertaining. And if anything, it's a proof point to our format. But it is just the four of them: Andre, Jeremy, Kevin, and Graham. They get on a call on StreamYard every week, and they talk for an hour or two about whatever pops into their head related to finance.
It sounds familiar.
Just saying. Not gonna say you copied me, but do you want to come on the podcast?
But I mean, we kind of copied, Dig Nation anyway. So
I mean, that's where I got the inspiration. So they weren't live streaming though. This is a whole new thing. It's a whole new thing. The live streaming, honestly, was just out of our laziness.
Yeah.
Sheer and now with StreamYard, it's super lazy. Like this is just too easy now. It's like it's easier than Zoom, which Zoom's awful.
No, but this Millennial Money, is it actually valuable? Like, I'd imagine great. having that that cast, essentially, like those guys produce some pretty interesting content.
It's really good. Like first, they're all friends, so it's entertaining. They're all in general, entertainers, so it's entertaining. But also like they all have like very different risk profiles and investment strategies. They're also all at fairly different financial levels, right? Like Meet Kevin's looked at, like they all joke with him about how much money he's got. Graham was talking about how he saw like the single biggest loss in his portfolio in a single day. It was like $50,000. Like, but Kevin, that was like probably 800,000 for you. And to be fair, he did show on a stream this morning a $933,000 intraday loss. But
holy shit.
Yeah, so but it's entertaining. Like I picked some stuff out of there. They were talking about like Chase private banking for some like higher net worth type stuff, and getting more margin loans and things like that through them. Which, you know, I'm very interested in that sort of stuff because it's kind of hard once you reach a certain level of net worth to like learn about some of these things, like where the better things are and what you should be looking for and not, and all of that. So I think it's really good. They've been talking about Bitcoins and NFTs a lot. All of them are really bearish on NFTs. So I'm definitely more of a bull on NFTs in general, but who knows?
It's the tech, right? You're interested in the tech and the potential use cases.
Yeah. I think the applications of it, there's a big possibility. That's all it is right now, is a possibility.
That's enough. That's all we need. Possibility.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And then I've learned a lot just from the Iced Coffee Hour and in that podcast, just listening to Andre talk about crypto. That mixed with, Gary V's even got some podcasts about crypto now, and then Pompliano is a good one, and then the Billionaires podcast is another good one. Lots of like just really good and differing sources on it have helped my understanding of it a decent amount. But yeah, that Bitcoin pullback was cool.
Yeah, I bought more.
Yeah, I probably would have.
I
just transitioned
you already
some
bought when it was low.
Yeah, I just rebalanced some of my Bitcoin over to Ethereum the other day. Whenever Bitcoin was super high and Ethereum wasn't quite as high, I was happy about that.
How did you do that in BlockFi?
Yep.
Did you just trade essentially?
Yeah, you just click the trade button, buy Ethereum, sell Bitcoin, and then you enter the number in USD. So it's easy peasy.
BlockFi seems to be doing some interesting shit on the.
They are. Did you see those numbers I posted in our Discord about the market cap of USDC? So as I was doing my token research earlier, I stumbled across this website that shows, it's a token tracker. So it shows you can see the market cap of different coins. And so I noticed USDC, which, like lots of platforms support it, but I think probably one of the bigger ones is BlockFi, has a current market cap of $8.2 billion. Like there's $8.2 billion worth of USDC out there.
Holy shit.
And then the thing that I thought was really crazy is that increased $6 billion in the last 3 months. So
How much?
It was $2 billion 3 months ago.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Here, let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Yeah, I can. Okay. Let me share screen and window and this one. Hey, look at that. Look at that. So, so you can go on here and you can see the market cap of all of these. And if you click in, look at that. It's gone up 200 million just since I looked at it earlier today. Where do I see the chart that I saw earlier? That's what I want to know. Oh man, I hope I can actually find this. Analytics, maybe. I don't know where it is,
but it's in there.
But somewhere in here, it shows the market cap in like a graph, and it was crazy to see the increase in this. Boy, I don't know where that was. USDC market cap. Oh, look at that. I did this search, and then I went here. This is where it is. Look at this market cap graph.
Up and to the right. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
like look in June 13th of last year, it was at $734 million market cap. And it's now sitting at 8.2-ish billion.
It's a lot of money in USDC.
It's insane. Like, what is that growth?
Like, why are people putting money in that?
I mean, I might bet it's like BlockFi is leading the charge on a lot of that, right? Like,
right, because you put money in and you basically buy USDC and then you trade.
You trade or you don't. It's 8.6% interest on USDC. I don't plan on keeping any of my dollars in my Ally savings. It's all going to be in BlockFi because 8.6%. It's like, that's crazy.
Now, of course, it's not FDIC insured and all that stuff, but
but
still 8%.
I'm like, I don't know how important is that really? Like, sure, it's nice to know.
I mean, if you lose it all, it's kind of important.
If how many times has a bank failed?
Know, but hey, you never know.
Yeah, I mean, like
something brand new like this.
It's what are the odds of it failing, right? Yeah, you can sign up Truebark.com/blockplay.
Yeah,
get like $10 a Bitcoin or something like that.
I think it's just worth noting that there is some inherent risk with a new platform like this.
There is
insured as a traditional.
Well,
bank.
They're not insured with FDIC insurance. They are insured. They are heavily insured, but not by the FDIC.
Right.
So there's no guarantee that you'll get your money back, but they do have a massive amount of insurance. Andre actually talked about that in the Iced Coffee Hour the other day. They have a massive amount of insurance against something like that, like a hack or something like that. But they're also like
to protect them or to protect their investors, as in people who invest their money with them.
I mean, I think it's both, right? And they keep a large amount of liquidity in the case of something happening too. Like they seem fairly well prepared for it, as well as you can until a Six Sigma event happens. Vlad. He's so funny. But they seem fairly well prepared. They have very good investors behind them in the finance space specifically. I'm pretty sure Sequoia is one of the investment firms. They were an investor in Outright too. So they're good. But no, they're not like one of those sketchy crypto startups. You know, kind of like in the cannabis space. You know, we saw a bunch of like those companies in the cannabis space where you're like, ooh, I don't that only works because it's the cannabis space. Like,
yeah, you placed bets that they wouldn't be around 2 years later.
Yeah, like BlockFi seems like they're so much on the up and up that they could actually compete in the banking space, which is what you want to see in someone that you're considering putting like $1 million with.
Yeah, it looks to be like they're doing the right things.
Yeah. Should also mention FDIC insurance only goes up to a certain amount of dollars too.
Right. Isn't it like 200,000 or something like that? I could have just pulled that out of nowhere, but
I'm pulling that up. It's $250,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like that's not a whole lot of insurance. You got to spread your money around quite a bit just to even cover a lot of it. You know, like I'm sure people do. I'm hoping to put like about $500,000 in BlockFi by the end of the year. So like I'd have to put that in multiple accounts, and then I'm not going to earn anywhere near 8.6% interest on it. Anywhere.
Right. That's just like basically investing in the stock market at that point.
Yeah. I mean, this year,
if it's going up,
on the average, it's even better. Right. 8.6%. Like the S&P doesn't typically beat that on average. Yeah. Barring these last couple of years.
I'm curious how long that's going to last though, because we saw that pretty swiftly be removed with like our high interest savings accounts a few years ago.
Yes, but the difference here, so yes, it's not going to last forever, but the difference here versus our high interest savings account are basically directly tied to the Fed interest rate, the Fed funds rate, right? And the Fed dropped the rates and our interest rates dropped. It's like directly proportionate because they paid us interest by basically borrowing money from the Fed or something of that sort. I might have gotten that wrong, but who cares? Whereas BlockFi is paying us by loaning out our crypto to other people. And there's very few places you can get loans on your crypto right now. Even less reputable places you can get loans on your crypto right now. And I think that's likely to be the case for a while. And because of the volatility of crypto, I think interest rates are likely to stay high-ish there. And that's what they're paying us interest on, is based on the interest rates they can charge on the other side for the loans. So I think it's likely to stay up for a while because of that. But, outside of like a year, maybe 2, who knows? But it's still probably going to stay higher than a high yield savings account, which can they even be called that anymore?
They're just called low yield savings.
They're just called savings accounts now.
It's like 0.5%.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt Bank of America changed their rate, but that's because you had to squint to see the number after all the zeros anyways.
0.0005%.
They're like, our computers can't do the decimals if we lower it, guys. We have to keep it here.
Yeah, BlockFi is very interesting. I hope they succeed in what they're doing, because that would be game changing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's crazy. Like, and Andrew's keeping his the money that he owes for taxes, or likely owes for taxes after his consulting work in BlockFi. So like, he's earning like a few $100 a month on interest just from money that he's going to pay for taxes.
Yeah,
it's insane how much money you can make from that. To make your income, it doesn't take a whole lot of money at a regular 8.6% interest to get your paycheck.
Yeah, I'm hoping they keep this 8% for a long time.
Me too. That'd be great. Be amazing.
That'd be good for everybody.
Good for everyone. Good for everyone. So, what else is new?
We're rolling now with our SEO project.
Yeah, we were going to talk about that tonight. We have a new project that we launched. I guess we technically launched it, right?
Yeah, from ideation to launch in about a month. That was pretty good.
Yeah,
that was really good.
Personal Finance Dictionary.com.
There it is.
Personal Finance Dictionary.com. So like this is a business that we're working on.
It is.
So Justin and I are looking to try and get some businesses that are cash flowing of some sort and, passive-ish. So the idea here is there's still quite a bit of money to be made on just things like Google AdSense and getting a good SEO-based website. We stumbled through a couple of different ideas and then eventually landed on something that actually fit the Financial Illiterates brand pretty well, and coming up with a Personal Finance Dictionary, which works nicely because finance keywords are some of the highest paying keywords on any of the platforms. That's why these YouTubers are making $3 million a year on ads, on their ads. So we built this website, Personal Finance Dictionary. The basic idea is like, it's a dictionary of all personal finance stuff. There's some calculators up there. Well, right now there's only one calculator up there, but there will be more some calculators up there. So like we have a compound interest calculator up there, which I built, and it sucks a lot less than the others. And then we have some articles.
There's the utility. Yeah, the articles themselves are what we'll be regularly producing. But I think it's a pretty interesting resource, especially since it goes along the lines of our brand, as Trae mentioned, of like very basic introductions to personal finance, since our schools still don't teach these types of things. And since we live in a society that, you have to know how to control your money or manage your money. Otherwise, you'll be stuck in a rat race for your entire career or life. And we think this is a good opportunity to provide some value in just defining simple terms, writing articles that are very plain language so that anybody can understand them, as to how the market works and those types of things and what happens in the market. And then also the calculator plug, like those are some pretty cool tools that Trae's built. And it kind of leverages both of our expertise, right? Like Trae's an engineer by trade, I'm a marketer by trade, and we kind of combine the technical and marketing aspect to create this resource for everybody.
Yeah, and I think that's something you see is like a consistent theme across most of the stuff that we try and do is we try and leverage the things that we're good at, right? So like even on our real estate investing, I'm building some software for managing some things, and I built software to find the deals that we're looking for and rank them and alert us to them. And then you're working on the marketing front of putting together mailers. Like a lot of people are using Deal Machine for doing this sort of thing, and with your experience of doing direct mail campaigns already, the value is not really there for us.
Right.
So like taking our natural strengths and working that into some of these investments, I think is so far worked pretty well for us.
Yeah. And if anything, it's an interesting experiment and something that we could have just leave up because it's also evergreen content. So it's pretty fundamental. And it's not something that requires constant updating other than, the articles that we produce. So,
which we're not even producing.
Right. That's another part of my background is managing content teams. So I do the work on the keyword research and the SEO optimization, but we have writers that write this stuff for us.
Yeah. So it's been an interesting experience so far. I'm hoping Google AdSense approves us here soon. I'm hoping we get enough content soon, but
I'm realizing it's going to take some time. It's much like how YouTube has the 1,000 subscriber
I don't want to talk
limit,
about YouTube, monetization.
But yeah, Google has a similar. I think the barrier to entry is high, but it's I know the game better than getting a YouTube channel monetized. So I think getting this site monetized will be a little quicker and easier than YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube. I still haven't posted a video this year.
Wow, we're almost 2 months in.
Yeah. Maybe.
How have your other videos been performing though? Has the Meet Kevin stuff picked up?
Meet Kevin video is just still crushing it, man. The Meet Kevin video, my Ally Bank in 2021 video. Those are my top 2 videos right now. So like that's not that's my number 1 way to earn passive income in 2021. They changed the analytics. That's cool. So now it's all different. But come on, don't do this to me. YouTube went. I can't hear you anymore. Did you mute yourself?
Oh,
there you go.
I was gifted. Let me flip it this way.
Get out of here. Get out of it. Just go away.
Look at
all right. So last 28 days, my Meet Kevin video is at 859 views and 46 watch hours and 9 subscribers gained. And then what I'm still using Ally Bank for in 2021 is 287 views, 12 watch hours, and 3 subscribers. So those are driving the bulk of my traffic. And then the Ally Invest video still continues to do pretty well. The Meet Kevin one is interesting because it actually grows with the rate at which he produces content. Like I can generally tell when he's live because I get a little bit of an uptick in my views. Just because like I show up so heavily on the sidebar
and you just need one more like that.
Why are you not letting me switch come on. All right, hold on. My computer was messing with me. I wanted to pull this up again. My click-through rate on that video is like amazing. Engagement. No. Reach. It's like average since published is 7%. But if I look at the last 28 days, it's 13.4% click-through rate.
That's pretty damn good.
which is like a really good click-through rate on my YouTube channel. It's like 3 or 4% higher than my next best click-through rate.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So, and like most of it is, from Meet Kevin or videos about Meet Kevin's course. And it's, like YouTube search is 70% of my traffic, with Meet Kevin course review being the top keyword. So like it just took that one little push from him posting it on Instagram to turn into that. And it just like, it blew things up. But I still haven't reached the monetization level, when I know like as soon as I reach the monetization level, I'm going to get more interested in it.
That's why YouTube does it. They want you to stay invested in the platform.
Yeah, I feel like there's almost like too big of a hill to climb to get there. Like I get it.
Yeah.
I get it too from their side, but it is like it's daunting, like
the frustrating part is, for some people it's real easy. I've seen guys do
that. I mean, that is the really frustrating part. You're right. So like, for those that don't know, YouTube has a requirement of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours in the last year in order to be eligible for the YouTube partner plan, which is monetization. So I'm at 834 subscribers and 2,985 watch hours. And of course, like shorts don't count. Any unlisted videos don't count. Any private videos don't count. And like that watch time is hard to get up. The subscriber number is like, if it was just the subscriber number, that's good. That's good. If it was just the subscriber number, it would be far less daunting for me, because like that's going up pretty regularly. But it's not. It's the watch time, and that like it barely moves. Some days it goes down. It's like, I don't know. So since I got back from the holidays, this place is such a mess with all the kitchen remodel stuff. I just haven't done it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you've got a job going on.
I have a few of those. Yeah, I have a few of those.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, anything else finance related you wanted to catch up on tonight? Is that pretty much the jam? Nifty's
jam,
and crypto, and
my life's pretty stagnant when I'm just working on the dictionary.
Yeah.
Dictionary.
Yeah. So if you guys wouldn't mind, check out Personal Finance Dictionary, and also subscribe, do the things that you do on Twitch, because I don't ever use Twitch, so I don't know anything about it. But if there's those sorts of things over there, do those things over there. You can also follow up on Twitter, because I haven't fixed the typing there. It's supposed to say follow us on Twitter. It's at Trobrock, at Gustin Jabriel.
Follow up,
and
works
I don't know. I mean, I hope you liked it. It was a fun time. This is always a fun time. So we'll see you.
Pills and Ibiza for hanging out.
Yeah, it's a good time. So we'll see you guys next week, 8:30 Eastern time on Wednesdays.
Peace.
Bye.